Ah! Yeah, steal things. Yes.
You shall not steal.
I don't know. I think he acted kind of weird about it. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to kill them anyway, so let's get this over.
And death to the Yamas! You're running out of energy. Drink a potion.
Nice! I'm getting better. No, that's not exactly what that's not what I wanted. Oh, that doesn't really give me anything. What's that? Ah, that's the Palacia stuff. Here's some notes. A chemical research book. These pages are covered in small, almost illegible handwriting. Experiment results, patient observations, and incomprehensible symbols. But the complexity of some recipes leaves no room for doubt. The author was a true alchemist and was certainly very knowledgeable. Okay. So we have proof that he actually is an alchemist and he actually knows what he's doing. Letter from the innkeeper to the servant. Louise, the weird alchemist of the Alliance who rented a room upstairs, specifically asked us not to clean it during his stay. This old fool must not want us to accidentally break his vials or something, so leave him in his filth. The customer is always right. Okay. Yeah, well, to be honest, when I'm at a hotel, I actually don't want my room cleaned up every day too. There's just no need. I don't clean my house or my flat every day as well. I don't think that anyone does. Am I right? Wow. I have no idea what this is, but I want everything.
Take everything!
Yes! Here, let's change some things. I mean, loot chance plus 10%. That's awesome. I want this. And it's green. I don't know what that means, but I want it. Okay. Then let's talk with the charlatan again. Let's see if he's gonna drink his Pacifier when I'm giving it to him.
Have you finally made up your mind?
I happen to have a vial of your medicine. Would you be willing to drink it in front of us? To prove that there is no risk?
This bullying is trying my patience. I'm beginning to suspect that you might be working for a rival.
You refuse to taste it?
You might have put something in it to cause me harm or further disgrace.
No, look. The vial is still sealed. It comes straight from your stock.
And you dare challenge me when you have just admitted to being a thief?
Come now. You can see for yourself that I'm gladly returning your vial, so that you might drink it in front of witnesses. This might help to dissipate my doubts, as well as those of these brave folk.
Yes, no, you don't have the right.
Damnation. He got away. He can't have gone far.
Find him, before his head ends up on a spike.
But
Think
how?
back to the note that we found. We need to take a look at the tavern. He won't leave the city without his belongings.
How did he escape? I mean, the tavern is right behind us. How could he have tricked us like that? And I think it's too bad that Kurt already told me to go to the tavern, because what was the point in finding the note that would hint me to go to the tavern if Kurt would tell me anyway? You know? I wouldn't need the hint.
Are you sure about that?
But anyway. Okay, there we go.
You again? What are you doing in my room?
I'm not the only one that's found you. Have you seen the mob that's gathering in the street?
I'm neither deaf nor blind. By the spheres. Why didn't I leave the city while there was still time?
The Alliance ambassador is quite unsettled by your commerce, and he's the one who sent me.
Sahin. Him again. Ruining my career wasn't enough for him. He's the very reason I had to leave the Alliance. And here I am, playing the part of the potion maker. Me, who was once a respected member of the Academy of Al-Sad.
Dr. Sahin warned me that you were an imposter.
That doesn't surprise me, coming from him. I was a master alchemist. I understand if you don't believe me after all that, but I have a number of documents to prove it. I would still be one if Sahin hadn't set off a chain of machinations to disgrace me.
Why does Sahin bear you such hatred?
I wasn't fortunate enough to oppose certain great minds of the Academy, to criticize their methodology. I saw them inflicting torture on sick prisoners, making them drink the most vile poisons. To find a remedy to the Malachor they won't hesitate to kill. I could not keep my silence.
It is for an act of courage that you fell from grace, and earned Sahin's hatred.
Act of courage? I'm not really sure, to be honest. I mean, that is his version of the tale, and he wasn't so trustworthy to begin with. Who knows if this story is really correct?
Are you not ashamed to have poisoned those poor souls?
These potions are not harmful. That is to say that they don't contain any harmful ingredients.
But you could just as easily produce real healing potions. So why don't you?
You don't understand. I fled, but I haven't put a stop to my own research. This potion is an attempt to create in those who drink it a resistance to the Malachor.
So you manipulate people to use as experimental fodder? That is completely unethical.
I don't have a choice, but it does not harm them, I assure you.
If this potion were inoffensive, then why wouldn't you drink it when I offered it to you?
I ran tests on myself for such a long time that I ended up becoming intolerant to it. A small sip of this mixture provokes in me now a violent reaction. The mob would have been furious in any case, but a normal dose, I assure you, is without risk.
Your methods don't seem so different than those of your colleagues.
I don't torture people. And this potion only has side effects in high doses.
Perhaps, but you are hurting innocents. I cannot let your commerce continue.
So, what are you going to do with me, my lady?
I don't think that he should leave the city. He needs to be put down, because I completely agree. This is unethical to just use people and to lie to them. I asked him earlier if there were any side effects, and he said no. But it was his duty to inform me that there are side effects if I would use it in high doses. Even if those side effects aren't universal, he would have the duty to inform me about this. And I don't think that it would be right to let him continue. Correct me in the comments, but I don't think so.
I'm sorry, but I don't trust you. I'm going to deliver you to Dr. Sahin.
My lady, I beg you to spare me.
I've heard enough. You are under arrest.
How unjust.
Everyone thinks that his own justice is true justice. A letter from an alchemist from Al-Sad. Dear Arif, I'm genuinely sorry to learn that you have not found the peace you were hoping for in Serene. Since your departure from the academy, the situation has been deplorable. Those you had accused are now behaving as if the rules did not apply to them, regularly performing questionable experiments. And there is nothing the rest of us can do uh, the rest of us can do apart from keeping a low profile. I sincerely hope that you will eventually find some place that you can be at peace. Your friend, whoever. Yeah, maybe that does prove that there are questionable things going on in Al Saad, but two wrongs does not make one right. That's my opinion, at least. Yeah, I want to go back. There we go.
Your Excellency.
Lady de Sade.
I tracked down your man near the Coin Guard barracks.
Finally. Did you capture him?
Let's just say that I put an end to his activities. His reputation in Serene is forever tarnished. Matters turned out a little more complicated than anticipated. He is hiding in a room in the Coin Guard Tavern.
Why didn't you have him arrested?
Angry citizens have gathered round the building. They have sworn to avenge themselves after discovering his fraud. I decided it better to avoid the mob. But if you wish to capture him alive, I advise you to hurry.
Governor Buren will be happy to learn that a legate with great assiduity will soon be joining the island of Childfriendly. Thank you for your help, Excellency, and allow me to offer you this modest present for your voyage.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lady de Sade.
Very nice. And I reached level 2. Perfect. So, I have one skill point that I can... that the controls are very weird on the controller. More damage. I'm all for damage at the moment, I think. That one's for extra damage. Perfect. Do we have anything else that I can level up? No. Okay. Then let's get to the docks and speak to the captain to find out if Constantine is there and to have a look for the heretics. I'm very unsure how to do this episode really, and I would really be very thankful for any comment that you can leave, because I'm uncertain. Shall I edit this episode to make it a little bit shorter, because I'm already recording for over an hour now. We haven't really done this much yet. We've been mostly just running around, and that's mostly it. We had some talks, that's it, and so would like to continue this episode a little bit longer, but that would make a very long video. So I'm not sure how to edit it yet. But we'll see. Whatever you prefer. I can highly edit it so that most parts, or not as interesting parts, are left out.
Lively there, lads and lasses! I promised the merchants and their prince we'd be off before the tide. You, man, carry that properly. That porcelain is worth more than your life. There are some children we'd been best to refuse.
Captain Vasco,
And you are?
I'm de Sade, the prince's niece. All is in order. We will soon be embarking on your boat.
It's a ship. Not a boat.
Apologies.
Apologies for my asking, but the young governor isn't with you.
He didn't come home this morning. I need to find him before departure.
I hope nothing's happened to him or he hasn't changed his mind. The tide does not wait.
Perhaps he simply celebrated his imminent departure with a little too much enthusiasm. Is everything ready?
We're short a crew member. The cabin boy is missing. But have no fear, we will leave without him if he does not present himself before the tide.
Is he an important member of the crew?
We don't need him for sailing or navigation. He's only a cabin boy.
He must have simply had a bit too much to drink in celebrating his departure. Like another I know.
I doubt that. Jonas was never one to fancy drink. And it's been 2 days since last he was seen. No, I fear something bad has happened to him. Might I ask you, if you hear anything, could you report it to me? I would like to set sail with a clear mind.
I think that's... He did seem very cruel at the beginning, but the fact that he is a little bit worried about the cabin boy makes it seem that he's actually nicer than he might be, might seem, at least. Let's get more information about this cabin boy.
When did you see your cabin boy for the last time?
It's been 2 days since I've had any news at all. It wasn't out of the ordinary until this morning. My men have free shore leave when we're at dock. But the day of departure, every able-bodied sailor must be present on the ship.
Does the boy know anyone in Serene?
Other than fellow Norts, you mean? I don't think so, but it's difficult to be sure.
This Jonas, does he have any close friends amongst the crew?
In tradition, we are all members of the same family. But yes, there would be Flavia and Lauro.
Might I have a word with them?
As you wish. You'll find them over there, in port.
Okay.
Have you seen anyone wandering about? Suspicious looking. Maybe clandestine passengers.
Take a look around. There are far too many comings and goings to spot possible stowaways. As long as they don't try and get on my ship, I pay no attention to them. That said, we did catch ourselves a smuggler just a while ago.
A smuggler? Maybe he could be of some use. Where could I find him?
In the port jails, not far from the warehouses. May I ask you, why the sudden interest in smugglers and the odd stowaway?
I actually don't think there is a point in lying to him. I think if I would lie to him, that was just, I don't know. I would just create a conflict for no real reason. So I think it's gonna be fine to just talk about it, I think. I mean, it has nothing to do with me personally anyway. And I don't think that he is part of the Timele nation.
A couple of heretics are planning on leaving Serene. The ambassador of Teleme has entrusted me with the job of capturing them.
Happy to see that you trust me enough to seek my counsel in the affair. Just so happens that I heard someone talking about the couple. The Cardinal's men are far from discreet. They're making quite some ruckus, asking to search our warehouses. We of course refused entry. Only the Norts have access. I'm sorry, Your Excellency, but I'm certain your potential stowaways aren't far. But we won't allow you to make a search to grab them. Not officially, at least.
What do you mean?
That discretion and malice are often more useful than titles and words.
Okay. That was a hint for sure. And you make me a little bit curious about the Nords, actually. I didn't really understand that. Are they their own nation? Or is this like, I don't know, shipfolk? Like pirates? Their own... I mean, their own thing?
Could you tell me a little about your guild?
We are masters of the oceans. Our ships can sail where no others dare.
Thanks to your magic, so I've heard. How do you become a Nord?
Our magic, yes, that only the Norts master. As for your question, any child born on one of our ships is sea-born. He is a Nort from birth. Others are sea-gifted, joining the Norts for different reasons, often from a young age. It's how the guild is made and maintains its numbers.
Okay. That wasn't really giving too much information, to be honest. I don't really understand the sea-gifted part, but okay.
Could you tell me anything about our destination? The island of Teofredi?
It is a magnificent place. Wild. Spared from your wars and your mines, for now. The natives have a relationship with their land and consider it sacred. They're a very friendly people, welcoming, that will appear to you strangely familiar. I've also heard that there are a great many exotic creatures, some enormous. But I wouldn't know what else to tell you. I've never strayed far from the ports.
He sounded very, very enthusiastic and very nice when he was talking about the natives, didn't he? That was very, I don't know, very soft in a way that he put it. The others were talking about the natives more negative, but he was like he was admiring them.
What do you think of our port?
Are you referring to this one? It is the biggest high seas port on the continent. Thanks to your prince, even though it remains part of your city, it holds a particular status for us Nords. Certain zones are owned completely by us, and maritime law holds office. It's a good port. Were it not for the Malachor, it would be a pleasant place to dock.
Well, if it wouldn't be for Corona, 2020 would have been a nice year.
You haven't heard anything about my cousin by chance, have you? To be honest, we were hoping to find him here.
Did you say he was intending on celebrating his departure? My men spoke of a rather animated party that went down at the Coin Tavern, but I haven't heard anything else.
That isn't the safest place in the city. I hope nothing has happened to him.
Let's go and find him. Thank you, Captain.
Happy to be of some help.
Be back soon, Captain.
We need to have a word with that people smuggler the sailor mentioned.
He's a captain, Kurt, like yourself. And in order to interrogate the smuggler, we'll need to find a way into his jail.
Okay, so to be honest, a lot of what's coming now is very new to me. I only know the conversations with Laro and Flavio, whatever, with those two sailors that saw the cabin boy, and the rest is new to me. So, what are we gonna do first? Shall we look for the cabin boy first, or shall we look for the historians first? Thing is, when those historians are at the docks, then it's very possible that it would be of benefit for me to be or to have done anything for the Nords. So maybe I should do the Nord quest line first and find the cabin boy first, and then maybe it's gonna be easier for me to find access to.
Filthy. But perhaps we'll discover some useful information.
Okay, whatever. But maybe they make it easier for me to investigate the case of the historians, whatever. Smuggler's Journal. I have 2 new clients. They want to go to Al-Sad, and the Inquisitors are on their heels, which will not make my job any easier. I think I can get them onto a ship. Inconspicuously, but we will have to be cautious, and I hope that they will prove patient and discreet. I will hide them away in a warehouse behind the harbor office, where the Inquisitors will never dare to enter. That is heretics. That was the word I was looking for earlier. Oh, this is actually better than what I'm wearing at the moment. Very nice. Okay, so we already know that he is that the smuggler hid them away in the warehouse nearby. So maybe we should look for them first.
Good day. Someone told me that you were a friend of Jonas, the young cabin boy who was gone missing.
That's right, yeah. Are you looking for him?
Yes. Your captain asked me to go and find him.
Happy to hear he's taken the disappearance seriously. What can I do for you?
Let's start by asking about Captain Wizuko. I found it very weird that I can ask about him.
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a damn good navigator, and an excellent leader of men. He knows his craft well, in spite of being so young.
How old is he?
He's not seen his 25th year yet. If he keeps it up, he'll be an admiral one day.
He's not even 25. That's impossible.
When did you last see him?
2 days ago, in the evening. We went to have a drink in the tavern. Jonas, Lauro, and myself.
Did anything seem out of the ordinary? Was he troubled?
Maybe a tad troubled. Like he was somewhere else.
Why would that be? Give me your best guess.
Boy, I haven't the faintest idea.
What does Jonas do in his free time, when you're on land?
He just hangs around here or there. You know the cabin boys don't have half a sailor's wages. And when evening comes, we usually go down the tavern with good old Lauro.
Did he ever have one too many?
Never. He sips his pint like it was bad medicine. One drink lasts him the whole night.
Does he know anyone in Serene?
No one, far as I know.
Do you think he could have made himself any enemies?
I wouldn't think that for a moment. Jonas has a good heart and he steers clear of trouble and troublemakers.
I don't know where to start with this. Do you have any idea?
No. Lauro won't stop telling anyone who will lend him an ear that the boy was carried off by thugs.
And you don't believe him?
I like Lauro, don't get me wrong, he's like a brother. But to be honest, he drinks a little more than he should. The itch for a drink gets us all, but to him more than others, and when you drink too much, the imagination wanders. Here, yesterday, it was me who tied one over, and I thought I heard Jonas's voice by the canal. I called back to him, as you guessed, but then nothing. Drink. It blurs the senses.
I need to be going. Farewell.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing, when the witness isn't reliable. My guess is, as someone who has played Dragon Age before, all Dragon Age games for that matter, and this game reminds me of Dragon Age for several reasons, I suspect something like a dark ritual, or, I don't know, some mages, or maybe even some people from the Bridge Alliance to experiment on this poor boy. Because, as Captain Wizuko said, they would sail without him. No one would investigate, really. If I wouldn't have free time, apparently. Then no one would care. So, he would make a good suspect for this. But it's just a guess.
Good day, sailor. I've been told that you know the missing cabin boy well. Is that right?
You talking about Jonas? You bet your stars I know him. But like I've been crying to the 9 deaf winds, he didn't go missing, he was taken.
Why can I ask so much about Captain Wizuko? Is he that important? Or maybe he's involved, but why would he give me the quest then? Without Captain Wizuko mentioning it, I would have never investigated. Or maybe he's involved in something else. I don't know yet. Let's ask about the cabin boy first this time.
Were you a witness to the event?
Yes, I was. Even though I'd had a few tumblers in the belly, I hadn't yet lost my head. The other day, in the tavern, I saw him talking to a well-dressed man, surrounded by some other sly ruffians. And then when we left, him and I, Flavia left a little earlier, you understand. Well, those brutes were there, waiting for him. They just up and took him like that. Grabbed his arms and poof. Gone. Vanished.
Why didn't you intervene?
I tried to, believe me. But my legs betrayed me. Wavering they were. And I fell into the gutter.
Did you report this to the captain?
Unfortunately not. I know all too well what weight my words carry. Even Flavia treated me like a drunken fool. And the captain? No, not telling him that. I still have some pride left, you get me?
Why is this pride more important than the life of this boy?
Did Jonas seem troubled to you the night he disappeared?
Maybe. For sure he wasn't his usual self.
Do you know what was on his mind?
No. No idea.
He has a funny accent. But who am I to tell, right?
Why would anyone want to snatch a mere cabin boy?
How would I know? Jonas is a gentle boy who keeps his head down. You think my story is nothing but mist too, don't you?
It's just that I can't imagine a gang of thugs hoping to get a ransom for a cabin boy. Did anyone else see the kidnapping?
There was still a small crowd in the tavern. But outside, I seem to recall that regular being there. We play cards with him from time to time. Kind of fellow who plays from morning to night time to be that skilled. But now and again he comes out. When nature calls, you know. I kind of remember his face being there.
Nature calls? Oh, when Oh, I see. I didn't got that at the start. I thought like, what is he? A tree hugger?
Embrace. And hug.
It wasn't so common to have a toilet inside for a very long time, so...
What do you think about Captain Vasco?
He's a just man who knows his knots. He's well appreciated by the crew. It's a pity that he hasn't much heart for laughs now and again. Always seems unhappy, our captain.
Yeah, he does seem a little grim, you know? Which is why it's so weird that I can ask them so randomly about him. Is he that important?
Thank you, Lauro. I need to be going.
Strange story, this is.
Something isn't right here. I can feel it. We need to lift the veil on this.
Okay. That's really weird. Especially because it's just a mere cabin boy, you know? I think my guess is not that bad, actually. I think there might be something going on there. And I changed my mind, by the way. I'm going to look for the heretics. Because, you know, I have to go to the tavern for the cabin boy and also for Constantine. So I think it would make sense for me to go there when I want to continue with the main story. What? This zone is under the control of another fraction than yours. Certain places are forbidden for you. A costume of the fraction will allow you to trick the guards. You can also try a stealth approach, but if a guard spots you, it will result in a violent response and damage your reputation with this faction. Okay, so I'm not allowed to be here. But I did pick up something earlier. The sailor's stuff. Is that a costume? Or does it have have to say costume specifically. Let's save and find out, you know? Okay. Let's just run right in and have a look what happens.
Hello? What can I do for you?
We're your replacements. You're dismissed.
Finally! We were starting to grow moss. Courage, me hearties.
Ha! So it is a costume. Nice! That's cool. But then let's have a look around. I'm guessing the costume's gonna work anyway. Ooh, can I wear that one? I do wear an axe, I think. I would prefer to have a sword. Ah, no, that one. I would prefer to have a sword, but I don't think I can have one. I really like that I'm not taken into as a new interface, but that I can still see my character on the go. Okay, I think I equipped that one. That's nice. But I'm just seeing there was a hole in this wall, you know? Down there. I think I could have stealthed in here somehow. I'm thinking. Yeah, I think I could have just, without the costume that I found randomly, got in here. And just would have been going in there. That's pretty cool. That's really cool, I think, because, you know, that way you have a very unique way of creating your own story. You know, that way every playthrough is a little bit different and unique, and that's very, very cool. That's very ambitious.
Who is there?
May the Illuminated save us. Did the smuggler send you?
The man to which you are referring was arrested and thrown into prison. But reveal to me your hiding place.
Oh, the traitor!
Have you come to deliver us to the Inquisition, then? Please, please, have pity on our souls. We have committed no crime. We are not heretics. We are nothing more than historians.
In that case, why is the ambassador of Thélème so concerned about your teachings? Why is the Inquisition looking for you, and why are you hiding?
Our only error was wanting to publish our work.
It's true. We presented our research, but it didn't please the censor. And here you have the result.
We fled all the way to Serene, thinking we would be safe. But the Inquisition wants to silence us so badly that they followed us here.
Okay.
Tell me more about your research. What about it is so horrifying that it would provoke such a fuss?
Our work concerned the teachings of St. Lucius.
The disciple of St. Matthias. The one who returned to Thélème after traveling with his master.
The very same. His writing was carefully preserved, but never seriously studied.
With the discovery of Teofredi, we thought it crucial to take a look at the original text. We wanted to verify if this island could have been the faraway place that he spoke of. The Eden of St. Matthias.
And? What did you find?
Teofredi is without any doubt the land that our Saint Matthias and his disciples went to. But the text that we discovered was radically different from what we expected to find.
In the original text, St. Lucius doesn't speak of an Eden, of the paradise of the Illuminated. He speaks of a voice that came from the depths of the earth, which convinced St. Matthias to stay there.
It was written in black and white, and there is no doubt about it. The original was written in Lucius's own hand.
I understand now what that text has cost you. This voice from the depths sounds more the power of a demon than a saint.
The sacred texts are always difficult to interpret, but what is written is written.
Did you try speaking with the censors? You could. Forget what you have discovered, perhaps?
Oh, we have signed already an abjugation stating that we misunderstood the sacred texts of St. Lucius. We were even ready to say that we had never seen the true text, or anything else that would have pleased them.
It served no purpose. It's our lives they are after.
That's not right. Honestly. I mean, it's always difficult when a religion is formed and sometimes things are forgotten when time passes, you know? But killing them for this? And they were even ready to just forget about it. I don't think they deserve this.
Who were you hoping would give you asylum?
We were hoping to reach Al-Sad. The Inquisition won't chase us into the den of their enemies.
Our research won't interest the Bridge Alliance, or at least I doubt it. But at least we'll be safe.
By entering Al-Sad as clandestines, you risk being taken for spies.
That would be better than being burned at the stake.
I see. Well, you have no other choice but to run and seek refuge in enemy territories.
I beg of you, please do not deliver us to them. Let us continue on this path.
I want to help them.
I could have a word with the good Dr. Sahin, the ambassador of the Bridge Alliance. If he can be persuaded to offer you asylum, you would be saved.
Your goodness honors you. May the Illuminated forever light your path.
If I manage to convince the ambassador, you'll need to refrain from that sort of blessing. Stay here. I'll be back.
Yeah. I really want to help them because I don't think they deserve this treatment. Oh, okay. I'm a cartoon character. I really don't think they deserve to die. That would just be unfair. Because all they did, they just stumbled across this, you know? They weren't searching for this, and they certainly don't try to take down Temele or their faith. I hope there's no enemy in here. But I didn't look down at the floor downstairs. Was there something glowing there? No.
Have you spoken with the ambassador?
No,
Has
not
he
yet.
accepted to give us refuge?
Not yet. I need to be a lockpicker to open this chest. Too bad. Too bad. Don't look at me. Just don't look at me. I don't think that I'll go investigate the other houses that much. So I don't know. Okay. Then let's talk to the ambassador. That's very handy because that way we going to come by the tavern anyway, so that we can solve the rest in one go. We also have to solve something for Kurt, if I remember correctly. Oh, there's something to read. I think I'm gonna read them sometime, but not now. The recording is already that long. Maybe I'll make I might time for it later. Because there's actually quite a lot to read, isn't there? Wow, that looks menacing. Quests. Yeah, the coin guard stuff. So that I won't forget. Maybe that's on my way too.
The merchant is there.
Wow, that's that's coincidence. Okay.
How might I be of service?
You can start by explaining to me why you refuse to honor the orders agreed upon with the guard.
There's been a misunderstanding, madam. Of course we're ready to honor the orders. In fact, I've already had a word with your master-at-arms.
They're asking that we pay again, despite having already paid.
It's just that the price has gone up since. I've nothing to do with it.
This is inadmissible. If you agree on a sum, you need to honor that agreement.
I'm sorry, madam. I'm just an agent, and I'm only obeying orders.
Why don't we go and solicit other suppliers, Kurt?
When we've already paid for the merchandise? If these thieves agree to reimburse the original payment, it's what we do immediately. And do know, in the future, we won't be shopping with them. Well, I should think not.
Your master has apparently asked you to demand a second payment for this merchandise.
That's right. He told me that their attendant seemed to be hiding something when he passed the order. And so he must have thought the guard would end up paying in the end, whatever he asked for.
I'll be damned. And I'm the one they've sent to settle the affair.
Sorry, Captain, it's nothing personal. I'm only following orders.
Following orders? Yeah, we hear you. Makes one wonder which one of the two of us is a coin guard.
This whole story sounds suspicious and stinks of a scandal. You were demanding a second payment, but refused to reimburse the one that was already made.
I'm not the one demanding nor refusing. It's my master.
This stubborn fool is pushing me to madness. You understand now why I'm asking for your help?
But you know, you decided to work for this master. I mean, I don't know if that is really a choice. I don't know, with all this Malachor going on and the sickness going around, if you really have a choice who you want to work for. But this that's an insult. You cannot demand a second payment for something that no. That's no. That's just no. I won't do this. Let's try and solve it with charisma. And that's what I have my charisma points for, after all. And 75% is actually not bad.
I don't think you understand who you were dealing with. Perhaps I failed to present myself properly. Lady de Sardet, niece of the Prince d'Orsay, and legate of the Congregation of Merchants. During our conversation, you explained to me that your master forced you to commit a crime. That's regrettable, especially as you will be considered his accomplice in extortion and theft. You know as well as I that the congregation does not tolerate such illegal activities.
But I'm only obeying orders.
That's a shame. Well, as orders are the only language you seem to understand, I order you to return the guard the merchandise without delay. Unless you'd rather your master is hung, and that you finish your days in prison.
I beg your pardon, milady, but you are not my master. Moreover, the attendant of the guard was quite specific, saying this affair should be handled with extreme discretion. So I seriously doubt that you'll be wanting to drag us in front of a judge. That would stir up the muck.
Whatever is he talking about, Kurt?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Why didn't this work? I cannot offer a bribe because I don't have enough intuition. But bribing him, to be honest, he doesn't deserve this. Well then, just then we gotta solve it with force, I guess.
Wait a minute, accidents can happen.
This is preposterous. Your master is a thief. And I have no patience for bandits and robbers. Either you give us back what's ours, or we'll take it.
Your idea of diplomacy isn't all that different from my own.
To the devil with ya.
Since you leave us no choice.
The merchant's clerk isn't hearing your arguments. The only thing left is a show of strength. Sorry, Greenblood. If I'd have known, I wouldn't have gotten you mixed up in this.
And so you're back, milady. Do you have our second payment with you?
Don't count on it. We shall return. See you soon.
This is... I would... I could just run into the... and smack your head against the wall. I'm so angry. Why didn't it work? I should just cut his head off right here. How insulting. Demand a second payment. This is insulting. I'm so angry. We should just put him down right there. And I'm serious. We should just put him down. I'm so angry with merchants or sellers that are so... How can someone so customer unfriendly and still survive? This is unbelievable to me.
Your Excellency.
Lady de Sade.
Okay. But let's calm down and help the historians first. Okay? So that I am calmer and not that angry anymore.
I would like to talk to you about a rather delicate matter.
I am listening.
A couple of historians have made a recent discovery concerning Matthias, the founder of the mythical Ptolemy, and it seems that this is not to the liking of the Illuminated. Or at least his more fervent subjects.
These sinister hypocrites are going to want to burn them at the stake.
Without a doubt. And that's why these poor people are begging you to offer them asylum.
We are willing. Where are they to be found at this time?
At the port of Serene. They were hoping to stow away discreetly on a vessel to Al-Sad.
Very well. I shall send an escort immediately to take them somewhere safe.
Perfect.
I need to be going. Goodbye, Excellency.
Goodbye, Lady de Sade.
We owe you our lives. We are eternally grateful.
It was nothing. I hope you won't have too much difficulty adapting to your new country.
If you would allow me, I would like to give you this. It's not much, but it is all that we possess.
Farewell.
You have a kind heart, Greenblood. It'll be the end of you, but that doesn't bother me. I wouldn't have wanted those poor buggers to end up on a burning pyre.
It would seem that I'm not the only one with a tender heart.
Yeah, you know, that's what I meant. Kurt can be quite nice, you know? He's cold and heartless on the outside, but soft and warm on the inside. I have no idea why I was walking around this tree now, but we just did it. Okay, let's get going to this coin guard central person. The guy that is the boss of Kurt. And maybe we'll...
Swarm through. Is your hat out of style? Welcome. It's such a pleasure to see you again. Have you seen anything to your liking? What might I help you with?
Huh. I want to see what he has. I don't know if it's really... if it makes any sense to buy something that early in the game. I don't think that makes much sense.
Thank you for your visit. See you soon.
Yeah, bye. The tavern. So then let's go to the tavern first. And investigate further in the case of the cabin boy. And in the... Ooh, what's that? I just stole that. from this guy sitting right next to that. Okay. Uh, I already figured that out, but thank you. Just stole those coins too.
Good day, Tavern Keeper.
Good day to you. What is your pleasure?
Let's start with small talk.
With all these sailors coming and going, you must have heard some stories about Teofredi.
Right. Even stories that my heaviest drinkers would have trouble believing. They say that man trees live there. Dragons and gigantic creatures. Treasure abounds under every rock. And the source of eternal life is hidden somewhere there. Last night, some Nauts even told me they brought back one of those giant beasts into the port. Ah, but you know the kind. If you ask my opinion, the drink was fueling their imaginations.
Has the Malachor really put a damper on your business?
More than a damper. They were soaked. When the sickness began to spread, a wave of panic followed in its wake. People stopped going out of their homes. They were afraid. I was close to closing shop, I tell you. And then, thankfully, the alchemists of the bridge said that you couldn't just catch it like that. People are still distrustful, as is their nature, but they are leaving home again. It's a start. I also lost quite a few regular customers. Dead or too scared to venture back. Yeah, but that's nothing new to you. The city would have sunk in the water if not for trade with the new isle.
That really hit me. You know, 2020 hit a lot of people just like him. You know, if I would have played this last year, I would be like, yeah, I can imagine. But this year, I've experienced this. And it's tough. Honestly. It's incredible. I get the feeling GreedFall is the game of the year.
How is business going these days?
It's picking up. We've not seen many new customers, but of late things are looking better. The Malachor and the neighbouring wars have dampened commerce. The epidemic still rages, but the possibility of finding a cure on that island has given people something to hope for. Now that we have a city there, quite a few seafarers come by to spend their wages.
And that sounds hopeful. Okay, let's continue and talk about the cabin boy.
I am looking for a Naut. A young cabin boy who has been missing roll call for 2 days now.
A Naut, you say? That's not a lot to go on. There are quite a few that come to my tavern.
According to one of his fellows, he would have been taken right here.
A kidnapping? In my establishment? You surely jest. Or at least I hope you do. I would have noticed. That doesn't hold water.
Well, I'm guessing that's not good for business either.
Someone told me about one of your faithful clients. A big gambler, it would seem.
I see. An able-bodied man. Passes his time lightening the pouches of sailors coming through.
Where might I find him at this time?
Here? He would never give away his chair at his table. Anything else?
Yeah. What about Constantine?
I'm looking for my cousin. His name is Constantine. I believe he was intent on celebrating his departure last night.
There was indeed a party here last night, but it ended badly.
Whatever do you mean?
A brawl broke out. My tavern was shattered, and no one's paid for the damages.
I'm sorry. Amongst the rebel rousers, did there happen to be a young man? 20 years of age? Hair down to his neck, light brown? Blue eyes? Quite the talker?
I don't believe it. Of course he was there. He's the man that started the fight. I hope you've come to reimburse me. Don't count on me to help you if that's not the case.
What kind of damage are we talking about exactly?
A good half of my furniture was broken into firewood. I piled up the lot over there.
Let me take a look. Perhaps it can be repaired.
If you can fix it, I'd be obliged. If not, you'll need to pay.
Oh, you know, I'm tempted to just pay him 25. That's not that much, actually, I think. I mean, I was just playing for... Okay, well, it's been 2 hours. But still, I've been playing for not that long, and I already have 173 coins. That's already quite a lot, I think. But I'm gonna have a look first if I can repair it. But I think the dialogue was made very good, though. In his body language, he made very clear that at the beginning he was very comfortable. He was enjoying even talking with us. He was open, but now he's very defensive and angry. And that was very well made. It's subtle, but it's good.
That's not a small sum. I need to think about my options.
Oh, the father has forgotten to give his daughter her allowance, it would seem.
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
This furniture is in terrible condition. The fight must have been extremely violent.
It looks as if it's fixable. I've seen worse. We'll need to build some metal dowels, but once done, we can make them like new.
If you say so, but do you have metal dowels?
I could repair this if I had some metal dowels.
Then... Let's pay more for them. You know, it's not worth it.
Well then, were you able to repair it all?
No, I haven't been able to sort them out.
In that case, you need to pay me, my lady.
You know, I don't have science anyway, so crafting is not really an option for me. And besides, I think this guy has been through enough. I don't know, he has my pity and I want to help him out, so take the money.
Here you are, to cover your expenses.
Excellent. Honest books makes for honest friendships. Your cousin is either a very bad joker or a right good fool. He went and insulted a band of ruffians from the lower boroughs. Dangerous fellows. They've a storehouse they operate out of a few streets from here.
What kind of business do they run?
Several, actually, and they're all illegal and profitable. But you didn't hear that from me. In any case, if you were set on recovering your cousin, I would hurry if I were you. They're not the tender sorts.
Thank you for the information.
Off with ya. Get him out of whatever mess he's got himself into. Seemed like a courageous fellow. Who could down his pint. Anything else?
Thank you, you've been a great help.
I need to be off. Farewell.
Goodbye.
Okay, perfect. Now, to the cabin boy.
Who are you? I don't recognize you. Am I in your debt?
No, have no fear about that. It's for a different reason that I'm here. I'm looking for a Naut that disappeared 2 days ago, after visiting this establishment. A young cabin boy. 2 members of his crew accompanied him.
Yes, that does ring a bell. I've played with the 3 of them.
Okay. Can you give me more information about the cabin boy first?
What can you tell me about the boy? How was he that night?
He seemed rather nervous, as if he was worried about something. Didn't feel like playing, that I remember. And he must have been right to be nervous, if he's disappeared.
That's kind of true. Maybe he knew something, you know? All of them said that he was a little troubled. He wasn't, like, upset or depressed, but he seemed to be troubled, so maybe he was threatened with something. Or maybe he was in love with another girl, and, but they couldn't be together, and now they're they're running away, maybe? Or maybe he's already slept with a girl from a wealthy family and now her family wants him dead? So many options.
Tell me what happened that evening.
A rich merchant came in with a band of strong arms. The kind of men you can round up for a few coins, if you catch my drift. They exchanged words with the cabin boy. The kid was defensive, not sitting pretty. And then they finally left.
And after that?
It just so happens that I did go out for a breather. I needed some fresh air. And I think I might well have seen those same men grab him. But that was none of my business. I wouldn't have thought that they were kidnapping him if that's what it was. They weren't particularly rough with him.
Okay.
Who was the rich merchant, do you think? A jilted lover? A moneylender?
No, my lady, you're in luck. It so happens that I know the man. It was Sir Fontaine, that merchant.
Where can I find him?
He has a house in the wealthy boroughs, just off the canal. A stone's throw from the Thélème embassy.
Thank you. You've been immensely helpful.
This man is completely owned by his love for the game. Do you think we can trust him?
What would he gain from lying?
I have no idea. But what would any wealthy merchant gain from holding a penniless child?